My name is Jim Whelan, Senator, 2nd District, Atlantic County. Growing up in West Philly, my parents, extended family really, came down to Atlantic City. Atlantic City was chosen for really for its affordability. Even then, it was very much a working class vacation getaway. My family didn't have a car, so my dad, who was working as a printer for the Inquirer, took a bus from Center City and practically commuted over the course of the summer. And as I say, it was extended family, aunts and uncles and cousins and so on. That's the way we could afford it. And we spent every summer in Atlantic City in the inlet section. I guess part of my swimming career is due to the fact that despite my size, I'm a lousy basketball player. So I wasn't going to make the high school basketball team. So I went out for swimming my freshman year. I never swam competitively before. But as I say, in Atlantic City, we spent all day, every day, going to the beach. Then went to Temple University in Philly. At that time, still to an extent today, but even more so then, Temple was very much a commuter school, very much a school for the working class kids of Philadelphia. I was lucky enough to get a swimming scholarship. I lived at home because it covered the tuition, but not room and board. So, but that was not unusual at Temple. And as I say, I had swam there, and then I competed in a lot of lifeguard races as well, represented Atlantic City Beach Patrol in a lot of tournaments, including some national tournaments, which was fun to get to go, and so on and so forth. So when I got to Temple, I did pretty well. I was, I won our conference, and but coming out of high school, I was not highly recruited. And I said to my college coach, so you sort of took a chance on me. What nobody else did. Nobody else. Some of the coaches didn't even respond. After I graduated from college, I started teaching. First in Philly, finished my master's. At some point in there, I met my wife, and she's from Atlantic City. And when we decided where do we want to live and spend our life, if you will, we chose we wanted to live in Atlantic City. So we both got teaching jobs down here and have been involved ever since. But we did a bill called Ricky's Law, which is a drunk driving bill, if you will, that mandates the placement of an interlock device, effectively a breathalyzer, if you will. Most of the drunk driving tragedies are from repeat drunk driver offenders, in the case of Ricky's Law, the young kid on a bike who got killed by a drunk driver, he had multiple arrests for drunk driving. If he had had an interlock device in that vehicle, he wouldn't have had that tragedy. We want New Jersey to be the hub for the Atlantic Ocean as wind farms are developed here, and they will be developed here. We lag behind the rest of the world, the rest of the developed world certainly. We lag behind China, we lag behind Japan, we lag behind Western Europe in terms of offshore wind production and using that, and as opposed to the traditional oil that comes from the ground. And again, one of the things that we want is not only from the symbolism, if you will, of them being off the Atlantic City coast, which has kind of been identified as a key spot in this, but also an opportunity to develop the economy of where this operation should be. It's going to be somewhere in the Mid-Atlantic states. We want it to be in New Jersey. I think the other bill that was quite controversial was a tourist district bill, creating a tourist district in Atlantic City. There's a lot of the focus on that was the fact that the tourist district, the casino area, the boardwalk, and so on, CREDA, which is the state authority, Casino Reinvestment Development Authority, will have a greater say in the development of those areas. Secondly, $30 million that used to go from Atlantic City to the tracks, to subsidize the tracks. That money came back to Atlantic City to support promotional efforts in Atlantic City. Thirdly, all the CREDA money, Casino Reinvestment Development Authority money, that used to be spread statewide, all of that comes back to Atlantic City. So I think Atlantic City did well in terms of not having gambling proliferate in the state, getting money back to promote itself, getting money back to redevelop itself through the CRETA project. The legislative process is a collaborative process, so you're always working with, committee members and your colleagues and reaching across the aisle, especially now because we have, Republican governor, Democratic control. You can't just say, well, we'll get this through. We don't need any Republicans, because at the end of the day, the governor's Republican. He's got to, so that collaborative effort to get something accomplished is very rewarding.